Hi, I'm Barry Cohen. This is Terry and my wife Julie. And our daughter Wendy isn't here, but she's very much a part of the family too. We're from Florida in the Tampa Bay area, visiting the Myotonic Dystrophy Conference out here in LA. We've come for the last couple of years, and it's been a very meaningful experience for us. Terry has myotonic dystrophy. He had the disease, which actually surfaced in his 20s, although he had some symptoms earlier, including speech difficulty when he was a young child, and a number of learning disabilities, which is very common with the disease. I'm a psychologist, pretty much retired. Terry and I spent a lot of time with one another, and we actually decided about 2 years ago, after Terry attended a myotonic conference, to write a book which is dedicated to all young people and teens who have lifelong disabilities. Julie has the disease too. The disease is inherited, and Terry unfortunately got the disease from Julie. Terry was actually born before we really knew anything about myotonic dystrophy, and we didn't know that Julie had the disease at the time. Her disease has surfaced about 10 to 15 years ago. My daughter Wendy does not have the disease, and so we're essentially a 50-50 family in terms of children, one having it, one not having it.
Hi, I'm Julie Cohen. I'm Barry's wife and Terry's mom, and as Barry said, I do have the disease. I had adult onset, about 47 when I got it, or I knew I had it. And my husband had a brother who had it, much worse than I, and he died at 48. When I first found out I had it, first it was always a shock, and of course when I'm watching my brother, I had a pretty good idea what was in store. I think my biggest problem in dealing with the disease is, number one, you lose ability to do certain things you could do, not even think about before. Walking and being able to handle, my agility. I can't even hardly write anymore because I don't have the control of my hands to write legibly. I'm a very big control freak, and that's a big thing to deal with because I don't have control of my fate or even myself. There's lots of things I could, I just can't do what I used to do, and I have a very hard time dealing with that. I'm out of control. As a result, I need help a lot. And Barry's been, my husband, my caretaker, has been wonderful about it. He really does everything that he needs to do, even though it's hard sometimes. As far as my life, well, I would have to say one of the side effects of the disease is apathy and lack of motivation, and I would say I have that, definitely. I'm really not that motivated to do that much. I was comfortable in my home. Traveling is hard for me. It's a comfort issue, I think, and I prefer to stay home most of the time. So Barry's able, I'm still well enough for Barry to be able to travel and leave me alone. I can still handle myself well enough for that. And he does. He does. He and Barry went to Alaska last summer, 2 weeks, and they had a great time, and I'm glad for that. But if I had to go, it would be a big issue. It's not just pack your bags and go. We have to make sure I'm going to have handicapped rooms. We're going to make sure I have I'll have my scooter. I will have a vehicle that can accommodate the scooter. It's not just, let's go. And even on the airlines, you have to be, alerted that I'm disabled, or I need to sit, and so on. So it's a big issue, and it's difficult to deal with. But you live, you have to do what you have to do.
Hi, I'm Terry Cohen. I'm the son of Barry and Joy Cohen. I also have myotonic muscle disorder 2. My experiences is basically around other people and how they look at me and how they treat me. I do have friends. At first they didn't know what to think of me because they knew I had problems. I have them helping me and certainly help me in different situations in terms of going upstairs by a handrail or walking, and I have a certain friend that helps me go shopping when I need help reaching things. She's there. Emotionally, my disease is okay. I really don't feel like there's a problem for getting around traveling. I'm a big traveler. I love to travel. I have various states I like to go to. I wrote a book. It's called Disability and Challenges, Reach for Your Dreams. It's basically talking about my experiences living with this disease and still having a healthy life. The book is based on young children and young adults with disability, and to let them know that they can still have a healthy life with this disease and not get down on themselves and still know that disease and still carry on. Hi. I just want to tell you my feelings about the disease when I got out of school. Went to high school for 4 years, and when I started my junior year, I really started thinking about my future. I had no really decent skills. I got really depressed on what's going to happen right in high school. We had no ideas. We had no insights of where I was going to go. My mom kept telling me time and time again, never put the future holds. I was a real believer in that at first, but then it got to my senior year, we still had no leeways. So I was depressed, I had trouble a lot, I got used a lot, and it also got me into trouble, and I really had no idea where my life was going to go. At one time, I even thought of suicide attempts, which I used to go to a doctor, I call my thinking bridge, and have suicide thoughts there. Luckily, I didn't do it. My parents got scared and sent me to a counselor. His name was Dr. Bowman. He helped me through the tough time and talked to me what happened if I actually do it. And we talked, and he talked me out of it. If I am there, I owe him a lot of thanks in that situation. Was after that, I went to a program in Connecticut called Vista Vocational Life Skills. That's certain vocationals for people that learn disabilities plus physical problems and emotions that have a good opportunity to learn how to be on my own and have my own life, and learning to take care of my responsibilities. I was there for 6 years. Now I'm back home, of course, but I do my own place. I drive, and I take care of myself. I have a job that actually cut down for some time, but I am keeping busy and having a healthy life.
During the early days when Terry could do more than he can do now physically, and he was having some real challenges with learning disabilities and therefore getting a job, there were some very memorable events, not very pleasant, but certainly memorable. I remember when Terry had a job pretty soon after high school, working in a supermarket as a bagger, and one day he came home and he said his name wasn't on the list for a work assignment in the following week, and he asked Julie about it, and we learned rather quickly that he did not read a particular schedule, which was rather complex. And as a result, they fired him before he even got to work on Monday. Myotonic dystrophy has a number of learning disability problems and developmental disability problems that can be pretty severe for some. Fortunately for Terry, they haven't been particularly severe, but enough so that he's needed to really have a helping hand in certain job situations. He had another case in which he worked for a special state program. This was very soon after high school. And what they did is they asked him to work in what he calls horticulture, which basically came down to essentially picking up leaves and doing trivial things in the garden. And for someone who has, at that time, the beginnings of some of the physical problems that have now surfaced, it was near impossible for him to do some of these things. So what happens, and Terry, you want to explain this, I think, too, is you end up with physical problems that then cause you to have emotional frustration, which then cause you to feel really lousy about yourself in terms of self-esteem, all of which multiply and have, as a consequence, I think, cause some of the early depression that Terry experienced. It's a very isolated and lonely kind of place to be. And as a parent hearing Terry talk about this, it was just about as anguishing as I can possibly explain. Now, Tara, how did you feel when that happened to you?
Well, firstly, when I started to have different capability of actually bending down and picking up stuff was not very easy. People were looking at me, people were looking down on me, they left me alone a lot of the time, and I tried to do the best I could. The only thing I could probably do is rake the leaves, but even then I couldn't bend down and pick them up. So I really had a good experience that one. People looked down on me, I was very alone.
I think they were trying to do some of the right things, but they didn't have an understanding of how it is a physical problem doesn't mean that you can't do some very capable things. And it's easy to get misunderstood. Terry has gone from that extreme to very recently actually getting a job above his current job in a large metropolitan hospital where he actually picks up medical staff and patients in a golf cart and scoots around a very complex set of buildings, all of which he's very capable of doing. It doesn't require him to have the physical abilities that were his limitations. It requires him to use the skills he has, and over and above that, he loves to serve his people, and it gets his mind off it, and it makes him feel much more, I believe, responsible. Am I right, Terry?
Yeah, I do drive a major golf cart, which they call a Ram. I basically pick up people from different buildings and take them to another destination around the hospital or where they need to go. I say hi to them. I have very good people skills. I'm outgoing and I'm talkative in terms of where they have to go. Now there is hard times that they don't tell me the exact place where you have to go. A lot of people don't know where they have to go and they say a doctor's name. Well, I'm not a doctor. I don't know any doctors there because I usually work outside. So I ask them, well, what kind of testing do you have to do? To a heart, is there anything they have to do? Come to surgery, I usually take them to the main hospital. So, other than that, it's fun and games. I talk to a lot of people, get to know the capability. I go to the hospital pretty fast.
But, and that's a far cry from abilities back when you first got
Oh, ability's awful.
That's a far cry from where you were to where you are.
No doubt.